Hi there, it's Ruth at artfulstampin.co.uk and I'm back again with a weekend ramble. I think I'm going to call these weekend rambles now instead of Sunday rambles because by the time I get it up on YouTube, it's often Monday, so it doesn't actually matter what point I film this in the weekend. So as I chat to you, I'm going to be making a card for one of my very old school friends. As you can imagine, you stay friends with people who are a similar age to you, and there's lots of friends who in my year group, either at school, university, who are going to be turning the big 40 this year, as am I. So she was one of the first ones in this year to do that because her birthday was on the 10th of January and I missed it and I forgot to send her a card. Well, I didn't forget. I saw it was coming up and I had lots of good intentions of doing something spectacular for her and didn't get round to doing it. So I'm going to do it now in front of you guys. So hopefully she's not going to watch my ramble before this actually gets to her. I'll have a little sip of my drink here. Okay, so a few weeks ago I already used this image or created this image by stamping with the Versamark ink and then embossing with black onto the shimmer cardstock, and then I floated water over the top of it and then coloured it in using re-inkers, and I used Blushing Bride, Crumb Cake, and maybe a little bit of, I don't know if that was So Saffron or some other type of yellow. So here I've got Blushing Bride and I want to make a 6x6 card. I just think when you're making something that's kind of for a really nice big event, it's nice to do a nice big card. So I'm really wanting to play a little bit more with this dotty stamp that I've just taken possession of. And I don't want to have it I don't want to have it uniform. I want to go for kind of very textured elements, around the place. So I've just used some Calypso Coral on just that corner there, and then I'm going to be putting a little bit of Blushing Bride in that corner there, and I'm just going to grab a sponge and I'm going to try and blend the two colours together. So while I'm just looking for that, let's have a chat about what I've been up to the last few days. Doing my normal typical weekly events. Oh dear, my brain, I get to Sunday and my brain is just like gone. I can't remember what I've done this week. Oh, it will come to me. Let me just stamp this. It will come to me. So I'm just going to lay this down. And I don't want it too bold. So I want the edge, I want the edge kind of fairly bold. So, and then just going to add a little bit of pressure there and there. I'm going to take that off and see how that looks. Okay, that's good. I like that. It's not too strong. But now I'm going to I'm just actually going to blend this in a little bit more. Pop a little bit of more Blushing Bride on here. And I don't want, let's have a look, I know it's not going to be a uniform continuation, and that's fine because I'm just into getting a little bit of texture onto this card. I don't mind that it's not going to overlap beautifully. That's not the look I'm kind of going for, and to be honest I actually want to go in there now and do some overlapping dotties. Okay, there we go. I think I'm happy with that because it's going to kind of get covered up with lots of other things as well. Right, I'll just pop that to one side. Yeah, so let me have a think. What have I been doing? I didn't have oh, that was it. So Monday, I can't even remember. This is terrible. I can't remember what I did on Monday. Okay, I remember what I did on Tuesday. I went to visit a friend of mine who has had a new baby. So that was nice. And we popped to Shrewsbury, which is about half an hour away from here. And my husband had ordered some gifts from Argos. And so we went to pick those up because they were only available. You know what, I'm going to get all these stamps out. I pretty much love all of these and I want to use them, so I'm just going to stick them out there. Yeah, so he'd ordered some gifts. We sponsor a little girl. Well, when I say sponsor, we donate some money monthly to a little girl in South Africa. And she goes to a day centre for children affected by the HIV virus. So every year I like to send her a gift. But I noticed a few years ago when the lady who runs the centre, she brought over a calendar with pictures of all the children. And all the children that attend the centre are black South Africans. And I noticed that they were playing with little white dolls, which, is okay. But I just thought, oh, that's such a shame. They're not playing with dolls that they would recognise as, being their own skin tone or race or whatever. So I'd like to send, ethnically appropriate dolls to over there. So, because I think they're quite hard to get hold of, would you believe, in South Africa. You would think that they were easy to get hold of, but I guess, sadly, because of the history of apartheid, there's still a residue of all that, and things are not maybe as widely available as you would think they would be. So I actually bought a few, there were some really nice dolls produced by IKEA, would you believe it? I think they still produce them, and they do sort of 3 different dolls. One's like a Caucasian blonde doll, one's a black doll, and one is an Asian looking doll. So I remember I bought an Asian one for my daughter, and I bought several of the black dolls and sent them over for the children to have dolls that they would recognise as being closer to their skin tones. So this brings me back to the story about Shrewsbury. So my husband had seen, that was crumb cake, and I've just stamped that on there. My husband saw that there was a black Disney doll, Barbie Disney, based on a Disney character from one of the films. So he reserved that for her so that we'll send that to her for Christmas. I know we shouldn't be saying the C word, but there we go, Christmas, I said it. We'll be sending that to her for Christmas this year, because really I should be sending Christmas gifts around September time so that they can get there in good time. If I want to send it by what's the word I want? Not airmail. Like by sea, it takes longer, but it's a bit cheaper to send, so it means you can send heavier things. Okay, so the stamp set that I'm using here, these textury ones, are from the new Timeless Texture stamp set, and I think it's lush. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. I've had a bit of an experiment using it for kind of masculine cards, so it's quite nice now to do a more feminine card with this stamp, just to see how it looks. Okay, it's very subtle, very nice. Okay, some more dotties. Do you think we can have dots on dots? Why not? Okay, I just want to make this area around the flower a little bit darker. Okay. Yeah, so we went to Shrewsbury, and then I popped in, had a lovely cup of tea with another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, who's probably watching this actually, and she has got me into sock knitting. She came over a few weeks ago and was wearing a pair of socks that she'd knitted and was telling me about how fantastic they were. So I decided to buy some wool this week. Oh, I remember what I did on Monday now. Okay, so on Monday, let's flash back a bit. On Monday, actually, flash back a bit more to that. A few months ago, I was doing an event at my local town hall. It was organised by the local high school, who were trying to raise some funds. Actually, no, I want to use Tip Top Taupe. What am I doing? No, sorry, I don't want to use Tip Top Taupe. I want to use Croquet for this. Yeah, so this lady approached me who, her son has a market stall, and she wanted to try and resurrect the old Monday markets. Apparently, Monday, the market in town was used to be very, very busy. Welshpool traditionally on Mondays is busy because we have a livestock market, and the livestock market just attracts farmers far and wide, whatever. And so when the farmers went to market, the wives would then come into town. So Mondays traditionally in Welshpool are really busy days. So you may have like a bank holiday going on in other, throughout the whole of Britain, and most towns are shut down on bank holidays, whereas Welshpool is like happy and thriving because traditionally it was market day, so that didn't stop on a bank holiday. Anyway, so this lady approached me and asked if I'd be interested in having a stall on a Monday, and I said yes. And I couldn't see myself doing something every week, but I said I'd consider doing something from time to time. So she rang me a couple of months ago and said, would I be interested? And I said yes. So I set the date that was this Monday. And my plan was just to go with some cards and things that I've made using Stampin' Up products, but also actually to have a make and take table so that people could come and have a go. So because I wasn't sure how busy the event would be, I actually texted a few friends of mine the night before and said, look, I'm going to be down there. Would you like to pop along, make a couple of cards for quite a small fee? And yeah, I had about 3-4 of my friends turned up throughout the morning and afternoon, and we just sat and had a nice time making cards, which was very nice. So that's what I did on Monday. I forgot about that. Okay, so I'm thinking about bringing a little bit more Calypso coral in here and using this stamp here. Yeah, so that was Monday, and so I am thinking of maybe every month doing that, so that it's a bit of publicity for people to see what I do, and also it's a great way for me to have to be honest, have a little meet up with some of my friends who have got nothing else to do on a Monday morning and don't want to go home and do the cleaning or whatever. I fancy just doing a bit of stamping with me. So if you're living local to me and you're a bit of a loss of what to do on a Monday morning, then pop down and see me downstairs at Welshpool Town Hall, because that's where I'll be. I'll be doing a bit of stamping there. Yeah, so that was what I was doing on Monday. So forward to Tuesday, pop to Julie's, and actually I think what I'm going to do is go and find the socks that I'm working on. Oh, back again. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. So this is the first time I've ever knitted with having the 4 needles, and then you have the spare 5th one to do actually your knitting with. So yeah, it's the first time I've ever knitted in the round. So that's been a really interesting experience, because I didn't have my mum to ask me to ask her what to do. Although I don't know if she's ever done it. I mean, she was the one that taught me to knit. I was about 6 when she bravely taught me to knit. I'm using this yarn here, which is like a self-striping. It's got lots of different kind of colours in there, very autumnal kind of looking shades. So yeah, the only thing I found is that when I'm going from needle to needle, my tension is a little bit loose at the kind of those join points. So I am trying to kind of compensate for that at the moment. I have ordered a circular needle to make life a bit easier. But the more I'm doing, the more I'm kind of getting used to having all these needles flying around the place and not poking myself in the eye. So yeah, so I have Julie to blame for this, and also my upline Monica, because she's just started knitting socks, and so I blame them both personally. So if for any reason, you know, I don't blog for a week or a month, or I don't do any stamping, then it'll be their fault. Okay? No, I'm joking. Stampin' Up I'll always find time for Stampin' Up. Okay, let's get back to this. So I'm thinking I'd like to put a sentiment on here, but I don't want to make a big thing about her being 40. I want it just to be a really pretty kind of card. So, oh, let's have a look. What sentiment can I put on there? Oh. What about, wonder to an amazing woman. I'll just have to an amazing woman just at the bottom, I think. And I think I'm going to have to put some butterflies on here. So, where's it gone? The Grateful Bunch. I love this gorgeous butterfly. The Grateful Bunch. So I think I'm going to have to use that one as well. Yeah, I think You Are Totally Awesome is a bit too modern. I don't think she'd be that bothered about that sentiment. So, it's an amazing woman. Because she is amazing. She's super talented. She is really makes some gorgeous jewellery. If I remember, at the bottom of my description of the YouTube, my YouTube description, I'll put a link to her Etsy shop. She runs an Etsy shop called Blossoming Silver, and she makes jewellery out of semi-precious stones and silver, and she actually uses quite a lot of fair trade silver. So and I used to get on very well artistically, and she used to introduce me to some sort of science fiction novels by David Eddings. So we used to sneakily read them in class when we were meant to be doing our work. And I think one day I actually got sent to the headmaster's office because I got caught for reading a textbook I wasn't, a book I wasn't meant to be reading. Not that there was anything wrong with the book. It was a very good book. If anyone's read David Eddings, they'll know they're good fun stories. Okay, so I don't want this kind of incognito, this sentiment. I don't want it too obvious. Oh, actually, that's not very obvious at all. But there we go. I wonder if I could stamp over that with, if I get my Stampin' I might be able to stamp that over twice to make it a bit darker. Actually, what I might do is stamp over it with Tip Top Taupe. Okay, so if you've never used a Stampin' before, this is how you use it. It comes with this black sort of tool thing here. And then you have a plastic square. And then you stamp onto the square. Then you line up your words onto your card. Then you put the tool back. Take that away. Make sure I get it in the right way up. then stamp down. There we go. That's better. It's a bit more clearer now. Okay, so set that aside. I don't need that now. Where's the butterflies? Oh, there they are. Okay, so what colour to do this in? Do a bit of tip-top taupe, and I think I might actually get my sponge back and get a little bit of the Calypso coral and then pop a little bit onto the edges of the butterfly. It's kind of two-tone. Ooh, I like that. I'll bring that up closer. You can see like the kind of two-tone effect of that. Look at that. Ooh. Okay. I like that very much. Okay, so then if you're going to do it again, you need to clean off your stamp. A little bit more tip-top taupe. Get my sponge back. Do a little bit of the edges. Da, da, da. I just have that one going off like that. Right, I'm also thinking I need to sponge a little bit of the edges of this flower. This little flower here hasn't actually got a black edge, so it's not kind of showing up that well. A little bit more brown on that one. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I think I'm kind of happy with that. I might get my Wink of Stella out and pop a little bit of shimmer on there. Ooh, sorry, it's out of focus. There we go, is that better? Do I go for gold or clear? I'll go for clear. Just do a little bit more on the centre of the flower. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm just going to pop a little bit on the butterflies. Just to add a little bit of shimmer. And just some little tiny strokes down the edges. A little bit of frosting. There we go. Frosting for your card. Okay, so all that remains for me to do is to stick that on there with some dimensionals. And I'm going to be actually very particular about the amount of dimensionals. I'm going to probably put a few more than I would normally do because I don't want this to get damaged. So as much as possible I'm going to use the big ones, and then I'm going to be chopping up some of the little ones. I've got some little bitty bits here. So it's always worth holding on to these. I actually did a class a few months ago, and as I was tidying up, I noticed that these bits have been put in the bin. So I fished them all back out again. Thought I'm not wasting those. So, oh yeah, so these are all my little bits that I fished out the bin. I guess when people aren't, you know, when people participate in a class, they don't realise how much things are. They just go, oh well, that's rubbish, you know, throw it away. But I managed to save some bits. Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to cut even smaller pieces to fit onto some of these leaves here. Oops. So small that I'm losing them. Oh, so there's one on there. I'm going to attempt to put a tiny one on that leaf there. Right, and then I'm going to take that one off already. Take all the little bits of paper off. These are so easy to take off. I don't know if you've used lots of other dimensionals or sticky pads in your time, but one thing I have to say about the Stampin' Up ones, they are really easy to peel off. Lost my card now. Right, there it is. Okay. Stick that down like that. There we go. Now I was thinking of putting some of this gorgeous ribbon. Let's see what it looks like. This is the new Calypso Coral ribbon that's in the Spring Summer catalogue. It is so luxurious, it's beautiful. Now, the only thing about it is that there is actually a right and a wrong side to it, so it's worth playing with to get the ribbon to sit correctly. I'm sorry, this video is ending up very, very long, but I hope you think it will be worth it. Now it's hiding my butterflies. I don't want that. I'll just slide it along. Make sure I slide it right up. Oh, I'm really not sure about this at all now. Oh dear. I think I might just cut these tails off a little bit more, so they're not getting in the way so much. Oh, it's hiding that butterfly now. I'm going to have to do another one, aren't I?